blah, blah, blah. Big story as Big U was arrested on federal RICO charges. And as we know, as these stories occur, they affect more than just the person being charged. I'm gonna show you guys how this affects more than just Big U. Yes, the issues are bigger than Big U. So let's first talk about who is Big U for those who don't know, because I grew up in Big U's neighborhood. Well, Big U is LA Crips leader accused of mafia-like activity. So let's get through this quickly. Big U, they say 58 years old, rolling 60s chapter of the Los Angeles Crips since the 1980s, gang leader, has a public image as a community activist, led a criminal, allegedly, operation that engaged in extortion, fraud, drug trafficking, and human trafficking, right? He also had youth programs, but redirected funds into personal accounts, allegedly. Some of the donors included prominent celebrities and professional athletes. Murder allegations of an aspiring rapper named R.W., who made a diss song and then allegedly was shot, killed, and disposed of his body in Nevada desert. That's what Big U is alleged of. COVID fraud allegations and federal charges, etc. That's who Big U is. But I knew Big U. I know Big U. And I grew up in Big U's neighborhood. And the thing is, there are more Big U's out there in terms of who he is and the issues that come from these allegations. So let's talk to him. All right, I got this aspirational family, right? Grew up in Watts, my family, grandmother, 6 kids, moved to Compton because of the Watts riots, the violence, the outrage, the craziness. Got to avoid this craziness out here, right? And people went as far as they could with their means. But my grandmother means took her next door to Compton, okay? She has 4 boys, 2 girls, 1 being my mother. My mother, born, raised in Compton, all of a sudden looks around, realizes, man, I've lost 2 brothers to murder, to the street life. 1 committed suicide. I got my little boy, got my little girl. We're going to do better, okay? We're going to do different. So we moved to almost by Windsor Hills, if you know LA, but not exactly. All Slauson, Edgemar. Yep, right there in 60s hood, right? Anyway, I grew up in the neighborhood that I grew to know and navigate around, which were Rolling 60s and other gangs, as you have to learn. I was on that track. In LA, there's a track. One of them was 54th Street Elementary School, Overwright Junior High School, and finish it, Westchester High School. I did that track up to the 10th grade. 11th grade, I switched. And I switched because I think we're all aspirational. We all want better. We all want different if it's not the way it should be. So navigating all around all these issues in the neighborhood, there were 3 people that really were the symbols, like the big names, like the triple OGs of this, it felt for me. For me, one was Nagai. If you know LA Life, you heard of Nagai. They said he was shot 11 different incidents before fatally being killed. That means 11 different days on the calendar he was shot. One of my teammates was his cousin, so I went to his house. I used to go over there a lot. I got to meet Nagai. And it's crazy, you're blurred between this level of fear, respect on one side, like fear, a little respect, and the other side, just like you're enamored. You're kind of like in admiration. Like it's a hood legend. Like, damn, that dude did all that. Damn, that dude been through all that. Damn, that dude's still here. Like, you know, one of those. It was the weirdest thing because it's really ass backwards. Like this dude is fighting for his life and trying to survive and hurting people, whatever you think is real from fake. But the point is, that ain't life. That ain't the vibration. That ain't living, at least. Then there was Smurf. I was scared to hell of Smurf. Boy, was I. Even when he got shot and he was paralyzed, he was in a wheelchair, still was scared of Smurf. You see that ponytail, see that S-hat, and I'm going the other way, right? And it's so crazy. I got a chance a few years ago to have drinks with Smurf. And I just told him, I laughed how many times I used to just avoid him. He's like, man, you crazy. What are you doing all that for? I was like, I just was scared. Scared and, in a weird way, respectful. Let's get to the Big U interview, the Big U time. Because Big U is the one I didn't get a chance to meet because he was locked up when I was of age. But I started to do some NFL Network correspondent work. And they were like, Marcellus, what can you do that's different than everybody else? We know you got this background. Can you think of some good stories? I was like, oh, yeah. I can think of a story. I can take you where I'm from. Oh, wow, that'd be great. You just tell us where you're from and you take some other athletes that's from there. I was like, oh, let's go deeper than that. Everybody does that. Oh, well, here's our war stories. I was like, but I wasn't out there. I was looking through the window. I wasn't outside. When I was outside, I was running track. When I was outside, I was running wind sprints. When I was outside, I had football practice. I wasn't outside. Let me tell you somebody who was outside. Somebody that I've never met, but I heard great things about. And when I say great, y'all know what I mean. I had great reverence, great fear. Can't lie to you guys. I was like, damn. And I didn't even know what was real from fake. Talking about the hood psychology. And it was for Big U. So I got in contact with Big U, and he was like, yeah, I do the interview. And we were on Crenshaw, 2004, 2005, whenever he got out, doing this interview. And he was like, man, thank you, because it's going to help me change my life around, telling my story, telling stuff I saw, stuff I endured, and now I'm here to change my life. And we did this interview. And if y'all know me, there's 2 interviews that no one has ever seen, and they were the best interviews I ever did. It was the Big U interview with the NFL Network and the Drake interview, dissing Kendrick Lamar with ESPN. So this interview, let me tell you about it, because it was wild. I was just like, Big U, we both from the same neighborhood, but obviously we didn't do the same things. Obviously, we weren't about the same life. Tell me about your life. Tell me about what you went through. And because this is a sensitive issue currently right now because of these allegations and because of the time he was changing his life, he told me these stories. But he told me in a way that made me understand exactly what he was saying. There were times where you would hear about rappers or athletes just getting robbed and hurt in LA. And you were like, damn, how'd that happen? And like, their celebrity didn't protect them and this and that. And we, 2004, think about it. 2004, 5, we were talking about checking in. And he was telling me the stories of how sometimes somebody would call and be like, yo, is he good? Is he good? And they said they would talk through it. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what? He was like, yeah, there's a world where that exists. I said, damn. And see, I had family that was protecting me from being extorted by anybody. I had family, and still do, that was hipping me to this. My family tapped me on the shoulder, I remember, twice when I was out there doing the most. And they said, oh, you were out at so-and-so spot, huh? I was like, yeah, you were there? He was like, nah. He said, but they were there. And they told me about you being there. And I said, really? He was like, yeah, be careful. So these are the stories that Big U was swapping with me. As I used to donate to Crenshaw High School, I went up there and spoke a few times. This was all because I was looking out for Big U, donating stuff to the organization, et cetera. And it's wild because the stories that we were swapping were the issues of our neighborhood. The biggest issue for me, and I told you this on the interview, I said I was scared and terrified of people like you not even knowing who you were, but just knowing the issues that came if I ever wanted to confront, if I ever wanted to deal or do something that I knew I wasn't supposed to do. I didn't have freedom. I was like, you know, the worst part about growing up in the hood is while we're navigating around all this, don't wear that hat, don't do this, don't wear that color. I grew up in that era. Don't go over there. Dog, you limited my freedom. Like, I can't be me. I got jacked before for the wrong hat. You know, I got beat up before. I got jumped before, all that stuff. And I was like, dog, that was the worst part. And this affects hood culture, black culture, whatever you want to call it. It's a sad-ass story of how they complete the sentence. The sentence of rich get richer. Why? Because the poor get poor. We cut off our own in these situations. So let's talk more about this interview and last about this plague that affects hood culture. This interview we went through what it's like to make it, because I had made it, and then the pressures around you. Just like I grew up, I couldn't wear that hat. Me and Big U talking, he's like, some of these guys shouldn't be wearing that jewelry. Things happen to people. And I'm like, yep. And I used to flash, I used to be out, I used to do the most. God, I used to. And then I would get tapped. Somebody be like, hey man, be careful. Be careful. People are watching. Not always the ones that are admiring you either. And that interview was the rawest, realest interview of all the stuff that he knew and saw growing up. And the stuff he had to endure and the stuff he dealt with, and stuff that he'd been through. And I was like, come on, man. Knowing Big U now, we were still texting, talking. The craziest thing is, like most people you're going to see, believe that his life was turned around. And you want to believe that. Then you got to read through this and you got to say, woo, tough sledding. Last part about this is, because it's crazy, I'm just thinking about all the times I just had to waste my mind, waste my time, waste my energy, waste my resources on gang life. Like, really, what were y'all doing? Eating our own, taking our own, and we ain't even own it. From my uncles, from teammates, from friends, to the homies that we all have lost through this ignorance that eats itself. It's that line, that same line that I even saw, that I tried to balance, of that fear and respect, and also admiration, reverence. They become your heroes, even if it's a zero. They become your heroes. I haven't met a gangster yet. I haven't met a person yet that wished they didn't do better, that couldn't do better, that didn't try to do better if given opportunity. Everyone's living in this escapism. All of them want to get out. Everybody. That's why my family's journey is Watts, Compton, South Central, the Valley. Nobody wants that. I am thoroughly convinced nobody wants that life, no matter what side you on. And without further ado, let me get into my poetic growing up in the hood. Let me get my MC8 on Gia. Let's get this. Yeah, let's get this going. Come on. Man, hood trophies and tombstones. Yep. I came up where the sirens sing lullabies. Mamas light candles, not birthday pies. Corner store dreams, 40-ounce schemes. Lost my cousin to colors in the crib and in the beam. Wah-wah. Lil Tone had jumper like Curry in prime. Now his name on the shirt. Wrong place, wrong time. Used to joke, said we ball in the league. Now we balling up fists, throwing signs and bleed. Wow. It's gangster, grimy, wild, it's cold. Hug your homies tight. They don't all grow old. Laugh through the pain, but the streets don't play. Too many hood trophies just passed away. Funny thing, my boy stole a pastor's chain and said God still love me, just part of the game. Damn, he ducked from a prayer but ran to a Glock. Now he texts Bible verses from a cell block. Whoa. Crackheads preach more than local priests, and we trust them too, cause they threw the beast. Why? Miss Rosa made gumbo and hold down the stoop, but lost her sons to the same damn loop. I got homies with diplomas and homies in the dirt. Some made it out, others wore RIP shirts. Grew up on loyalty and survival, now funerals like Sunday recitals. Man, come on, y'all. Don't bang, don't chase, don't go get that. You know what happens, you replace. Man, go get that degree. He said, big dog, I heard you bang too. It's up to me. Wow. Damn, what can I say? He ain't wrong. Nah, not me. Hope he lives long. Ooh. It's sad how we clown just to mask that stress. Laughing while we wearing bullet holes on our chest. Ooh, you can't ride or die, but never both, because you're going to end up turning it into a ghost. Oh, I wish that it didn't happen to most. I wish I had to give it that toast and pour it over. I ain't had to look over my shoulder, looking at them people as they faces growing colder. Oh, man, I wish I saw my people growing older. Oh, man, it's all right. Close up your folder. Give them some. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Respectful claps. Respectful claps. It's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come.
Oh, this is not hyperbole here. Because I think the verse.
Time to hydrate. Hydration's the situation, so.